Yeah, can you tell me about the topic of revenge restraining orders? Have you seen in your practice like people use a restraining order? You know, obviously the purpose of a restraining order is supposed to be, you know, securing personal safety and stuff like that. But you know, it seems like there's a lot of people out there who've used it as like a tactic of narcissistic abuse, or like, you know, used it to kind of get revenge. What have you seen anything like that?
Yes, I have. I've seen several situations where, and it can be husband or wife, but I've seen a couple of recent situations where the husband, who is quite narcissistic, even though the wife didn't do anything, the husband will be upset with the wife and call the police on her. Then the police will come out to the home, and maybe the husband will have some type of scratch on him. Maybe he's even administered that scratch to himself, but he very compellingly tells the police that his wife abused him, physically abused him. And I've seen a number of these people get arrested. Now, typically what happens is they get arrested, and then they may explain the situation. I've rarely seen the district attorney file charges against them, but in the meantime, they're kicked out of the house. And the husband or the wife can use the police and call the police and have the police come to the house, in effect, as a control mechanism. So they're doing marriage counseling or marriage therapy, or manipulating their spouse through the use of the police. And I have seen this, I've seen it quite a bit over my career, where there's not violence, where there's not threats, where there's not even action that the quote unquote offending spouse has done that would upset a normal person. But notwithstanding that, the one spouse will call the police on the other spouse. And typically when the police come out, oftentimes somebody is going to be taken away, or somebody's going to be arrested, or at least a minimum made to leave the home.
That's awful. But two more questions, and then
but you talk about, let me go a little further on that.
Okay.
You talked about a revenge restraining order.
Right.
Sometimes the one of the spouse will legitimately seek a restraining order against the other spouse.
Right.
And then the other spouse will make up a story, and so then the right spouse gets kicked out of the house. The right spouse gets a temporary restraining order, and then the other spouse will go back in and fabricate a story where then there may be a second or competing restraining order, and then the court has to sort that out.